Neuroscientists at the HeartMath Institute made a discovery, and it's something ancient Rishis knew all along. There's a measurable electromagnetic field around your heart, and it actually shifts when you enter a specific brain state. They call this heart-brain coherence. And there's a simple 3-minute breathing technique that can activate it on command. This is the real science behind manifestation, and it's also the reason why it fails for most people. Here's the issue. Your manifestation practice isn't working because you're trying to manifest from the wrong brain state. Think about what usually happens. You sit down, close your eyes, you try to visualize what you want, but your brain is running at 14 to 40 hertz. Those are beta brain waves. It's the frequency of analytical thinking, of planning, and of worrying, and when you're in beta, your prefrontal cortex is in charge, logic, and reason. It's the part of your brain that says, this isn't realistic. Right in the middle of your visualization. But here's the truth. Manifestation doesn't happen in beta. The research is very clear on this. It happens when your brain operates between 7 and 8 hertz, that alpha-theta border state. And in that state, something measurable changes. Your heart's electromagnetic field becomes coherent. Your nervous system calms down, shifting into what's called parasympathetic dominance. And this is the key. The gap between your intention and physical reality becomes permeable. Ancient practitioners didn't have EEG machines to measure this, but they knew. They knew that certain breathing patterns created a state where, as they said, prayer becomes answered. A state where visualization felt real in the body, not just imagined in the mind. So what's the problem? Well, you can't force your brain into alpha-theta. You can't think your way there. That's like trying to fall asleep by concentrating harder. The harder you try, the more awake you feel. It just activates more beta waves. But there is a back door, and it's been hiding in plain sight for 5,000 years. You need to understand why most manifestation techniques actually keep you stuck in the wrong frequency. The HeartMath Institute spent 30 years measuring something most scientists dismissed as pseudoscience. They put sensors on people's hearts and brains at the same time, and what they discovered was stunning. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that's 5,000 times stronger than the field produced by your brain. Let that sink in. 5,000 times stronger. And that field, it extends 8 to 10 feet around your body. But here's the crucial part. When your heart rhythm becomes coherent, that powerful field, it synchronizes with your brain waves. The researchers call this heart-brain coherence, and it only happens in very specific states. You're seeing actual HeartMath data. This is the heart rhythm pattern of someone in coherence versus someone in stress. See how the coherent pattern is smooth, almost like a perfect sine wave. That's the signature, and it corresponds directly with those alpha-theta brain waves right at 7 to 8 hertz. This is where it gets interesting. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research team measured this during manifestation meditation. Subjects who reported the strongest felt sense of their desire already being real. Their brains were locked into alpha-theta. Subjects who said it felt like pretending or trying hard, stuck in beta, 14 to 20 hertz. The difference wasn't their visualization skill, it was their brain state when they visualized. And the fastest way to shift brain states, vagus nerve activation through extended exhale breathing. When you lengthen your exhale, you trigger your parasympathetic nervous system. Heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and your brain naturally downshifts from beta into alpha-theta. This is why breathing exercises for manifestation work when standard visualization doesn't. You're not just imagining differently, you're changing the electromagnetic environment where thoughts form. Remember that cellular autophagy breath we covered yesterday? Same vagus nerve pathway. Different application. That protocol cleaned your cells during sleep. This protocol opens what ancient practitioners called the manifestation field, what neuroscientists measure as coherent heart-brain coupling. Sanskrit texts called this Brahma Muhurta Pranayama, the breath that connects individual consciousness to universal consciousness. They didn't use terms like alpha-theta brain waves or heart-brain coherence. They said this breath dissolves the boundary between desire and manifestation. Yogis who practiced this technique reported that intentions set during this state manifested with unusual speed and precision, not magic, not wishful thinking. They had tapped into a reproducible protocol, one that modern neuroscience can now measure. What they called aligning with cosmic frequency, we now understand as nervous system regulation that shifts brain waves into the optimal state for subconscious mind reprogramming. Same mechanism, different language. And tonight you get access to both the ancient protocol and the modern understanding of exactly why it works. Here's the exact 3 in-it breathing pattern. I'm breaking this into 3 phases so you can execute it perfectly. Phase 1. Grounding. 30 seconds. Sit comfortably, spine straight but not rigid. You can do this in a chair or cross-legged on the floor. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your heart center, the space in the middle of your chest. Don't force anything. Just rest your awareness there. Notice whatever sensations are present. Warmth, pressure, openness, tightness. No judgment, just awareness. This 30 seconds establishes your baseline. You're telling your nervous system, we're shifting states now.